Morning, everybody. Joanne, hi. It's good
Good
to see you.
morning.
Oh, and here's Tammy. Tammy's checking in from Mexico. It's good to see you,
Okay, good
Tammy.
morning, Carol. Good morning, Joanne.
Love those,
Good
love those
morning.
subtle colors there. So, and we want to say hi to our YouTube audience and thank them for joining us this morning. And today you're going to be able to watch our evidential mediums as they connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from those people. And our hope is that by watching us at work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones that you may have lost are in fact still with you. So I'm going to ask our YouTube audience to join us as we open with a prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. All right. And I would say, what do you say? Maybe 12-minute readings? Does that work for everybody? Okay. And then whenever anybody gets a link, just hop on in there. I'm going to set it up. Joanne, man, you are fast. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
We had to wait for the live stream, and I wanted to, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that everyone, all of your loved ones are here. Tamara, I felt your husband, your mother, I felt Carol's parents, and I said someone to come forward because I can't bring everyone. We only have 12 minutes, but maybe I can. Anyway, but just leave it at that. Carol, I feel like I'm with you. I have this sweet gentleman coming forward. He really is mild-mannered. Um, he's like a gentle soul. And I brought him through, and I feel like I'm with your father. Um, the first thing he said was, I guess he's task manager, and that's what he's talking, describing you as. And And with that, I'm seeing your home, and you have so many projects going on. Um, and he took me quickly. She's a task manager, and there's so much going on that she is dealing with. I see like the cats project. I see your husband has projects. I just feel there's just projects, and your list of items and checking them off as you go through the projects. And when I asked him briefly, I wanted some like evidence. Um, he showed me immediately about your cat, and he showed me a furry like ball thing that you just recently purchased. If you hadn't, there's a specific cat that you like that it likes to play with this ball, and it's like a fuzzy ball. And I don't know what color it is, but I'm leaning towards either pink or yellow. I don't know. This fuzzy ball. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Do you understand? Can you take any of this information, Carol?
I understand all of it. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, I think it's just his presence is the message. It's so interesting. Your father's a really sweet man, and his
Mhm.
energy comes through, and it's a calming presence. And immediately when I bring him through, he wants to offer that. It's like a warm hug. He wants to embrace you. He wants to offer that energy. Like, and as I'm saying that, I'm like, I'm talking to him. He has told me that you have a space that you've created for that. Would you understand that? Or you're in the process of doing it, but I feel like there's a space that you've created so that you can go and offer that calmness, to calm down, to meditate.
Yes.
Thank you. Uh, when I said that, he immediately showed me you lighting a candle when you go into that space.
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, which is so interesting, is when we have these rituals he's sharing with me, it's immediate. Like when you go to, okay, so you walk in the room, already know that's your safe place to decompress. But when you have an additional ritual that you do, it sets the intention even stronger. That's what he's trying to say. Something of what's the candle? Is she doing the candle, or are you saying that she need to light the candle? But
Hmm.
it's having that additional intention to light the candle so that it gets you there quicker. It's like another, it's our psyche, but that's what he's saying. It's like when you enter the church and you go to kneel and you put you light the candles.
Hmm.
That's the intention. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that your father did that.
That
Not all
would
the
make
time, but
sense.
when it's service, it's service.
Yeah,
And
that would make
it
sense.
offered him a lot of calm. I know there's concern. He's bringing up your brother, a health concern. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. I think he's concerned too because that's the type, of his personality. And I know that you've been uh, calming him down, like everything's going to be fine, because he has this hyper uh, activity. Like he starts to think, you tell him something, and then he just spirals off, and you're like, everything's going to be okay, and everything will be okay. Just to verify for myself, is it heart? Is it something heart related?
Yep.
Thank you. He's going to be treated for that, and everything will be okay. I feel I don't want to go into it. I'm not a doctor, but he's sharing that with me, and I'll leave it there.
Okay.
There's a procedure that he needs to have, and I think it's like that my uncle had, like a shunt or a stent, something like that.
Oh,
That that can obviously seeing a specialist and everything, going to the doctor. I think they're going to prescribe something that will alleviate the condition that he has in his heart. Mm. And don't you worry your pretty head.
uh, uh,
He's now bringing me to a cat. A s- I feel like it's a family cat, or it was your cat, a family cat, but a specific cat. And I
okay.
see him stroking the cat. His name, because I think you would come up with really unusual names. And it's interesting. Like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. It's like something unusual, like Huckleberry Finn, or something like very unusual. Because of course you have a really creative mind as well, Carol. And names have to mean something.
Mhm.
I think with that message is he's offering me information. I'll share that with you later once we close. But I just feel that there's a significance about a cat and having your cat, and that brings you calm, and the petting of it and the purring of the cat. And it just brings that balance with everything that you have on and all the, I want to say chaos that's going on. You manage it well, but there's a lot going on. I feel that it's interesting. Your mother wants to come forward because she's like, I want to get in there. Um, and he's stepping back. And your mother, being that your energy is very similar to your mother saying, don't be too hard on yourself, Carol. You're too hard on yourself. You've always been the good girl.
Mhm.
Tasks help us get things done. And she's like, you and I are built that way. Don't be too hard on yourself. And I'm getting chills as this. It's like really like, don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself time to decompress. You need time for yourself. You are just important as your loved ones. Give yourself time. And you don't need to give people excuses or just, I mean, explanation about doing that. You deserve it just as much as they do. I didn't give myself enough time in my lifetime to do that, and it affected my health. And your loved ones need you. So allow that time for yourself. I love you, my dear. I know they say patience is a virtue. It's something that we don't have,
Yeah.
but that's okay. And it goes back. She just keeps on saying, don't be too hard on yourself. There's so much things that you're doing and accomplishing, and so many people you're helping. Take time for yourself. And I'll leave their love with you, Carol.
Oh my gosh, Joanne, that was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know where to start with that. But the thing with it being the task manager
Mhm.
is like spot on with that. Like right now, because like I am juggling like all these different balls that, and they don't even belong to me, but like God gave me this gift, you know, of being able to help people who can't have help themselves. And I believe that's why I'm here on earth is to help people who can't help themselves. But man, they're coming at me hard this week. They really are coming at me hard this week. So this is the task manager that he's talking about. Um, and the candle was kind of interesting, okay, and I want to point that out to our YouTube audience too, okay, because I don't light candles in this house, okay, but then you went back and clarified that he's actually just talking about the intention of doing a ritual, which
Mhm.
actually makes sense to me, and I wanted to point that out because that's something I've been thinking about.
Mm.
too. Okay, so and what that ritual was going to be was burning sage. So, for
Oh,
that.
okay.
Okay. The information about my brother's health was really interesting. Okay. And I want to point out to our YouTube audience that like where I'm at right now, I'm not aware that, my brother does have any health issues, but okay, if it does turn out that somewhere down the road he develops this issue that Joanne has talked about here, I will put a comment after the fact in the notes on this video and tell you that what Joanne said here came true and this is what happened. Okay. Um, and that's about all the feedback I have. What do you any questions you have for me?
Yeah, because you were validating. I asked you throughout. Oh, the cat thing. Was that like, did you have a specific, did you just buy something recently? Because they just threw that out on me. A
I,
little furry. Yeah.
do you know something? It was not a ball, but what it was a little fake kitten.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
little fake fur covered kitten
Oh,
that
I
I
saw
actually
the.
gave to. I have a little female cat who yeah, she was a rescue, and when they found her, she was trying to nurse dead kittens. Okay, her
Oh,
kittens had all died. Okay, and so I gave her this little fur kitten to just
oh,
hopefully replace her babies, and she's very attached to this little fake kitten.
oh,
So, you know, so yeah, that was, I forgot to mention that. So thank you.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was marvelous. Okay. But I want to dissect that reading
Hmm.
from a different perspective. And that and specifically, I don't know if you guys run into this problem. I run into this periodically with sitters who sometimes feel or express, the fact that they're disappointed because I didn't bring in for them specific data points.
Hmm.
Okay, and I'll pick one: cause of death. Okay, or like, do you know their name? Do you know their cause of death? Things like this. Okay, and I imagine both of you have been in that situation before because you gave a bunch of information, but the sitter was looking for something else. Have you experienced that?
Yeah. I am, and I've had that with other mediums that we like doing mutually because I do spirit art too, and we brought through someone else entirely, and we didn't, and then we found out like they had someone who they dearly loved and was so significant, and we didn't bring them through, and we felt like oh, like we missed the mark, but at that point, it's always like, well, you can always come back. And I feel like, at that point, like I need to offer additional service for that if that happens. But I have to trust spirit that whatever information is coming through is for that sitter at that moment.
Right.
So, but yes, I've had that happen. Um,
Okay. And
Yeah,
here,
speaking of, okay, I just want to mention that
yeah,
cat name. Do you have a really like like unusual cat name that I that's one thing I didn't
yes.
ask you.
And I'm
Okay.
not going to tell you what it is, but
Okay,
yes,
okay. But it's something I
they're all
couldn't get.
unusual.
Like it was something really long.
Yes.
And yes, and I couldn't quite get it.
5 syllables.
Yes, it's like long and um anyway, and that's still sticking with me. I can't quite get it, but I just wanted to say that because that's still on my head. Um yes. That's happened to me.
Yeah.
And I feel that kind of I let the sitter down, but then I have to trust that whatever information comes through. And then I'll ask them like, okay, uh, if I didn't bring the person that you wanted to connect with, maybe offer what is their first name or what, things like that, so I can narrow down so that I can try to bring them in. But I have to trust spirit that the what I receive, my intention is always for the best and highest good for the sitter and for healing.
And thank you for expressing it that way because this was my thought as well. And I want to take our YouTube audience back to one of the very first things that Joanne said in her reading. And she says, I have your dad here, and he is giving you a warm hug. And that probably went over all of your heads. All right. But for me, that was the most significant piece of evidence right there because my dad was a phenomenal hugger. Okay. And
Mm.
anytime that I just got distressed or whatever, he would just wrap me up like a big bear hug and hug me. and and that was it. That was it for me. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because I think sometimes people who are like watching these videos might look at that reading and say, well, you know, Joanne didn't give her any data points, okay, or not very many data points, okay. And in my viewpoint, I got the most important data point right there with that hug, okay. But then I'm also past all of those quote data points that like a
Mhm.
novice sitter might be looking for because my parents come in all the time, okay. And when you get to that point when you trust spirits so much that you don't need those data points, that's when the real conversations start to
Mhm.
happen. And so I want to point that out to our YouTube audience that like what just happened here with Joanne's reading to me was a conversation. Okay. Not those data points. But I'm going to throw that out to you, Tammy, and see what do you think about it?
I think you're right. I mean, I've also had that. I had it in particular with a client who, um, wasn't really happy because it happened to have been, I can't remember if it was his birthday, the person she wanted to come in, I think which it was her spouse, and it was either his birthday or her birthday. I can't remember which, but because there was no mention of a birthday, but
Uh,
other things,
yeah.
she was unhappy because she wanted him to, specifically talk about the birthday. And so there was, there's that. And then I guess what I've done more recently is I kind of feel it out. If it's somebody who really, really, really just wants one person, I preface it with, we can never know if they're going to come in or not. We just can't know. So it's really important for you to know
Mhm.
that. And and then, I'll just go right in trying to bring that person in. And then other times, if the client's more open, I'll say, well, let's see who we get. And so we'll see who we get. And then after that, I'll say, is there somebody else, if there's time, is there somebody else in particular you were either hoping for or would like to hear from? And so that way it kind of does what Joanne's talking about, which, you're validating who should be coming in or who really, you know, who wants to come in, who needs to come in right now. And then also, well, let's see if we can also bring in and it generally has worked well. It's worked well that way. And then
Yeah.
and then you asked another question, and it's suddenly gone out of my head of what it was. The Carol, I don't know the last part of
Okay.
it.
Well, hold that
I'll
thought.
have to
We'll
hold
kick it over to Joanne and see if it
it.
comes
So I
back.
want to, yeah. And so going back to that, Carol, being that we're mediums, our readings to our to us is different. I feel like it's elevated to another level. Although I always try to get there with any client I have, but it is another level because we're not. I going down, oh, I have a male here, he looks like this, because I've done that,
Mhm.
and
Right.
I know, and as a medium, I have this person here with me. I don't have to prove that to you. So
Uh-huh.
I immediately can lean into the important part, a reason why they're here,
Yeah.
not to identify them and describe them and their hobbies and everything. And we've done that. And I feel that, like I said, the intention is always I give for the best and highest for that sitter and healing, a healing message for that sitter. So I just have to trust that. And as mediums, that's what we've learned, right? To trust that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't land with the sitter, but I also do the intention like only sitters come to me that
Mhm.
need like my type of reading. Like if you're not going to, you're not going to get, oh, you're going to get maybe you might, I don't know, I can't say that, but a little needle in the carpet strap, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Like, so, and maybe you might, I don't know, Spirit might throw it out there, but that's not the type of reading you're going to get with me. I feel like I give more message oriented
Yeah.
readings
Yeah.
and, and I love giving details though. I mean, and that's one thing I do love. I mean, I think we all do
Yeah.
when people say, "Oh, you got the golden nugget," right? I'm like,
Oh, yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but the golden nugget was the name of the cat, and I didn't get it.
Not
Yeah,
telling
so
you.
I know it. Maybe Spirit will by the end of this, but anyway.
Yeah. It'll be a tough one, I'll tell you. It's 5 syllables.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Well, but I think you're right.
Yeah.
In terms of like because we're mediums, we're different, and
Mhm.
we're past that expectation of getting all those dry facts about
Mhm.
our loved ones. Okay. And so the one thing I want to encourage, the people in our YouTube audience to do is maybe get out of the box a little bit and get yourself beyond that expectation of like, I need to, confirmation of how they died, or, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay. You know who's here. Okay. So let that person talk to you, to see what
Mhm.
it is that they want to say to you and have a conversation with them, from the other side, because it can be as beautiful as what you just saw Joanne do here. So, well, that was lovely, Joanne.
Mhm.
But now I guess we'll move on to Tammy. Are you feeling it, Tammy?
Well, I do have a man here.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yes. And speaking
Bring
of
him in.
not describing them well, um, I'm wondering, and I just also want to say, I agree so much with that, with mediums and how when we're reading for each other, because it's like we speak shorthand, because we just we do it so much that we understand what the spirit's getting at, more quickly. And sometimes maybe that's to our slight detriment. It's like, I know for myself, maybe I get a little lazy. It's like, oh, okay, well, you, because, they know what you mean. So it's like, okay, I guess, maybe I should work harder to, like, oh, okay, because I don't normally get cause of death because I've just never asked. I always want to know how they lived, but anyway, okay, so I guess I've got to start my time. I was finishing the conversation part, so um, thank you. Okay, so I do have a man here, and I do feel that he's not it's a little confusing for me because I feel like I may be with Joanne's brother, yet he's not I'm not seeing this person as a direct family member. And so both of you please listen. And I'll describe. He comes in on a motorcycle. So he's very vroom 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 motorcycle, and I believe that he either really did ride a motorcycle and had a motorcycle, or that he's trying to show me his character, because I feel like there's two parts to this man. I feel like he's got, the vroom vroom leather jacket. He actually straddles his motorcycle, and then he starts slicking, combing his hair straight back, like, I'm Mr. Cool. And I do know that he's got a group of guys that he high fives, and I do feel that they have a meeting place that they go, and I'm seeing more beers than cocktails. And let me just give it a little bit more, and then I'm going to check in. Um, he's he's telling me he wasn't a big reader. Where he's fitting in the family, and this has been a little wonky lately, a little squishy has been the word I've been using. He feels like he somehow fits in on the paternal side and not a direct family member, but somehow close to the family. So, is this making sense to either of you yet?
I can take the description of the motorcycle, definitely the hair, the gathering place, the beer, but you said the
Not the squishy part?
no, yeah, the paternal part.
Yeah, he's showing on my paternal side, but
Uh-huh.
not a direct family member, but I'm feeling like he knows you well.
Mm, okay.
Just if that part is making sense. For a while, you know, they were using my mind map and they were doing such a great job. Like I could totally tell
Uh-huh.
who they were. And
Yeah.
so that's gotten a little wavy, little wavy, squishy, lately. So
Yeah.
so you're not so you understand the motorcycle, you understand the whole kind of character meeting friends, and okay, good. But
Hmm.
you're not understanding how he would fit in somehow on the paternal side. Is
I
that what I understand?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Would you understand that he's somebody that would feel close to you?
If it's not a direct relative.
He's not a direct family relative. I feel like, could he have been close to, and I hate to ask it as a question like that, so I won't. So, okay. I also feel that he's very direct, and he's just do this thing because he's saying, just say what I just said. And which was he, I believe he was a friend of your brother's, or like a.
And I thought of that.
Okay,
I was
okay.
thinking of
Because he
that.
said, I'm a friend of her brother's, and it's like
Yes.
doubting, and he's like, just say what I said.
Yes.
It's like,
Now, yes, because
okay,
that's what I was thinking when
okay,
you were,
thank you.
yes.
Okay. So, it's that, and
Yes.
so that also gives me
Yes.
I
And I
understand his
got chills. I
personality.
got chills. Yes. Go
Okay,
ahead.
awesome. Yeah, because I understand his personality through that, because he's like, just say what I said, like,
Uh-huh.
um, so I'm understanding with that personality that he is, he's like a no fuss, no, well, it's interesting. There's like two sides of him. He's like, don't make it difficult. He's like, like things, just don't make things difficult. But also, I feel that he's assertive. He's a very assertive. Did you know him?
I don't feel him to be assertive, but
Because I'm
when
saying that because of the way he said that to me. Like when he said, he's
he,
like, Just say it." It's like bear with me 1 minute. It's
Mhm.
as though he's okay. Here's the feeling of it. It's like, you don't trust me. It's like, just say it. You're going to find out that that's what it was. So
Mhm, mhm.
you need to just trust me because that's what it is.
Yes, yes, but very, yes, doesn't play with words, just very, yes,
He's like,
yes.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, all right. That makes sense. Would you understand too? Did you know him well enough to know that, okay, that he wasn't a big reader? Because for some reason,
I don't know that, but you know.
okay, okay, okay. TV guy, loved sports, loved watching sports. Okay. Um, okay, he's very funny. He's a smart guy, and
Hmm.
he moves quickly. Like, and he's like, yeah, yeah, I was a clicker, the remote. And he's like,
Uh,
yeah, I was a clicker. And so, uh, October. Okay, thank you. I've been working on months lately, significant months.
hmm.
And so he just gave me October as a significant month.
Okay.
October 22nd. Okay, so that would be significant. And would you know that?
No, I wouldn't. I'd have
You
to
don't,
look into that.
okay,
Hmm.
you'll look into it. Okay, thank you for that. I feel strongly about the October, the way it came in. Because I don't feel I was reaching for it. I feel, they dropped it in. So that's usually for me when um, it tends to be more accurate. Okay. Okay, bear with me for just a minute. Okay, thank you. Okay, he's moving now to I feel with him that we're in a room, and I feel this has to do with something he did for a living. Um okay, would you understand that he would be looking at big plans for some reason? I feel like there's a big table in front of me, and that we're rolling out plans, almost like he either did that he was involved with constructing things, or because I'm feeling very much a big
Hmm.
table, maybe rolled out, plans, or there are papers. I feel that somehow we're moving paper,
Mm.
and it's a big table, and we're moving paper around. Do you understand
Um,
this with him?
I it's like I do and I don't because I don't know his whole like life and how he lived it, but I just know little snippets of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel very sure about this, that
Hmm.
there's something there, and he's working with others. He's definitely working. I see three others. So he's working with three others. And I do feel there's some kind of project, and it involves looking at like a plan or papers. So I'll just leave you with that. Maybe you can get back to me on that. Oh, um, I'm going to go way out there on the trust thing. And I don't normally ask about, as we were just saying, I don't usually ask cause of death, but I was curious. So would you, don't tell me how, but do you know how he passed?
Hmm.
Did he, was he responsible for his own passing?
No.
No. Okay, that's interesting, because that's really how this looks to me. Okay, I'm trying to understand what he's showing me. Would you understand? I feel like there's constriction in the throat as part of his passing. Like,
I think that had to do with um, uh, the condition that caused with
okay,
his illness.
okay, very much like that. That you wouldn't be able to breathe, like something's cutting off. Like,
Hmm.
I can't
Yeah.
get air. I
And that
can't get
probably
air.
was one of the symptoms, but I'd
Okay,
have
I
to
get
look into
okay,
that. Yeah.
okay. Let's see.
Oh, but
Oh, Carol, are you, everything's okay? Because you were looking like, uh-oh, is there everything,
No,
this
I
isn't
I
somebody
was
that you
just
know.
listening to you. You coughed at that point.
Oh,
And and I
oh,
don't know if you realize you coughed when you did that.
oh, okay, well,
And you
yeah.
never cough. Sorry.
okay. Um, let's see here. Um, I thought maybe suddenly I was with you, but I didn't think you
But
were
I
this.
think that
Okay.
has to do with my brother more so than him.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right.
But it could be him as well.
Okay, bear with me for just a minute here. Okay. Would you understand that you were much younger? I feel like um, you were like a young kind of teen. There's an age. It looks like there's quite a
Yes.
bit of an age difference. Okay.
Yes.
Almost like he would be like a big brother, but older,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me just see for you. He's just saying be here in the now. Be here in the now. And thank you for letting me come in. And I feel like just as a last thing that I keep feeling like an Elvis Presley vibe with him, big time. And I feel like he almost ended like, using kind of thank you very much, kind of even when he showed me himself on the motorcycle, there's this whole Elvis, and at the end too, just
Um,
almost like he could be an Elvis Presley impersonator. So, so I'll leave you with that. Be here in the now. So,
Oh my God. So Tamara, okay, so you brought in my brother and his best friend who passed away. Like they were really close friends.
okay,
And he didn't pass away until just recently. I lost my brother when I was very young,
okay,
and it was his best friend.
okay.
And yes, and I just started thinking they had motorcycles, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, he did. I see images of his wife posting. They used to ride motorcycles, and I saw it on Facebook. And then as far as the project goes, like I just know like little bits of his life, but he was a really great guy, warm heart, like just unbelievable. And he was my brother's best friend.
Okay.
And I'm sure they both rode motorcycles when they were younger, but he definitely did as he was older because yeah, outlived my brother. My brother passed away very young. My brother, the image that you get the Elvis is my brother. My brother, he was like about his hair and his appearance and oh yeah, and Elvis was really big back then in the 70s, so it was all about that. And John Travolta, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
And the
God.
hair.
Oh my
The
God.
hair was like the thing, and that's what just made me just crack up because that was my brother. And he was a good-looking guy, and it's yeah, all about appearance. He was a young guy. Um, the significance about the and not being able to breathe could have been both because his best friend had a brain tumor. And
Hmm.
I don't know how that affects, like I'm sure it affects towards the end,
Sure.
right? But
Hmm.
definitely my brother
Yeah,
and
no.
how he passed, he drowned. So
I
not
think
being
I
able to
just
breathe.
had your brother. I don't think I had his friend. I think I just had your brother here.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm not seeing anything except for the relationship. Everything else fits your brother from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but the heavy motorcycle riding, it was early on, and definitely his friend did. And he was okay. So if you felt like it was because I was like,
I think it was
but
just your brother because he only showed me sitting, like he wasn't right. He was sitting on the motorcycle, straddling it,
yeah.
black. He looked like he could be Elvis, with a black leather jacket, combing his hair back. So I
Yeah.
think I just had your brother,
And
and I
he
think,
has, and my brother can be very funny and very charming and very,
oh yeah,
yeah.
he gave me a little wink. He was like, but like a sweet, kind of like joking, like
Yeah.
a little wink. I think I had your brother there.
But the big plans was probably that's what I took for his friend, his best friend, and his son. So when you were saying that, that sort of correlated with that because I found out later on that he had a big project, he had his own business. I'm sure while he was still alive, they were talking about all this. So then I went to that, but I
Uh,
don't know all the specifics of that. Yeah.
Wait, and so what about your brother? Would your brother have been involved with any papers, like moving papers around or plans or?
He was a mechanic, so I don't know if
Huh.
that's what you saw.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was, yeah, and back then we didn't have clickers. So that's why I thought you had his brother. We had to turn. We had to get up and turn the knobs
Okay.
in the 70s. We didn't have
Okay.
the
Oh
remote
yeah.
clickers
Okay.
yet.
No remote clickers. But would they have
Yeah.
been changing the channel all the time?
Oh yeah, we had to get up our tushes and change the channel.
Okay. So as long as they're changing the channel all the time, that
Yeah.
that I can
And
take.
you
But
didn't do that that often when you had to get up all the time.
okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it felt it was interesting how he showed me he passed. He just went like this. He went,
But
Yeah.
that's when you started to cough, which is why I
yeah,
reacted the
yeah,
way that
yeah.
you did,
That's
because
why
you
I
never
said,
cough, in readings, you never cough. And then you went like this, and,
yeah, yeah. So it was like that's what he was kind of showing me that it was he couldn't breathe, like there was air was cut off. That's what he was,
well, that,
because like if you do that, air's cut off. That's
Yeah. And that could be very well, how
so,
he drowned. So there was no
yeah,
air going into his lungs and he couldn't
yeah,
breathe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Well,
all right. Well, I'm just going to throw out a question here. Okay. So, is there any possibility, Joanne, that your brother would have been talking about his best friend if we look at it from a different perspective?
um, I'm trying to think. But when you were talking about that, I felt my brother definitely. When you started describing him, it was my brother.
mm,
And then when you started to say paternal side, I started immediately start thought, and I think our first instinct is, I really do feel like he had two, but they were very, very similar, and my brother would outweigh that reading because his brother is basically like his brother. They're really close. His best friend was more soft spoken than he was,
okay.
and because I can take information for both.
Yeah. Well, also see one of them keeps morphing into wearing a suit. So I don't know if that helps at all.
Well, my
Somebody's
brother used to dress really well when he'd go out in a
okay.
suit all the time. It was a disco era. So, he wore his,
Okay.
his
Yeah.
Jack Silk shirts and,
Like it morphs into from that to that. But I think, quite frankly, I think I brought that through in another reading. Exactly like that, that it morphed into wearing a suit from biker to suit. It just feels too much like like that I've brought that information through, quite honestly. So,
Hmm.
for me, it wouldn't be valid as
really?
evidence.
No,
Well,
that's
as evidence, because I feel like I've brought that same evidence through to you before. I
I
feel
don't
like I
remember
have.
it though, Tammy. I
Yeah,
don't remember it.
yeah.
No.
Huh. Okay.
Hard
Um,
when you've done as many readings as Tammy
oh my
has.
God.
Eventually, they all start
Well,
running
Yeah, I don't
together.
as
remember it.
all
I'll
of us
say
have
it.
done, as
And I
all of
think
us
it
have
all
done.
goes back to is like, trusting spirit, like offering that.
Yeah,
Because I got to tell you, when he said just be here in the now.
yeah.
When I was meditating before we gathered, my mind was racing and I just heard those words, just be here,
Okay. Hmm.
because I could not quiet my mind
Yeah,
until I
yeah.
heard that.
My mind.
So do you think he came in through your meditation initially and then repeated what he said in the meditation to
Yeah,
Tammy?
yeah. Because I
Well, that's
felt his
cool.
energy even before. I said, it'd be really cool if you came in today.
Okay.
Okay.
He was
So
here
I
pretty
set the
quickly.
intention. I set the intention because I hadn't heard from him in a while.
Okay. Yeah, he was here. He was here quickly. I mean, as soon as we
Yeah.
started, as soon as I opened up,
Yes.
he was there, on the motorcycle. Not
Hmm.
riding it, but just like straddling it with his feet on the ground, you know.
Yeah, my brother was a character. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Thank you, Tamara. I love
Sure,
that.
sure.
Yeah.
That was great. That was really interesting. So
And I got to tell you, that's his personality too. Anyone who's brought him in, like, I don't get a fluid like reading with him. And it's like, come on, just give me something. But it's just the way he was in life.
And
Uh,
was he not a
yeah.
reader?
No,
He
no.
wasn't, he didn't read a
Mm-mm,
lot?
mm-mm,
Okay, so that was, yeah,
no. And he
that's,
passed
yeah,
away very young too. So I don't think he had the opportunity if he wanted to grow to, to love to read.
sure,
He didn't
sure.
have that.
I'll
Yeah.
be so curious about the date, like the month and the date, because,
October
you know,
22nd. Okay.
yeah,
And when you said that, I thought of his friend.
okay. So
Okay.
that's like anything else, don't bother to look up if there was anything else, but well, that only because
Mm-hmm.
I've started
Oh, wait a minute.
wondering that.
Um,
what?
I think I just dawned on me. His daughter got married in October, and I can't remember the date.
Okay, but October, okay.
Yeah, and it just dawned on me.
October,
Yeah,
I feel quite sure about the
yes, but I
actual
have to
day
look.
is
I have to look. I have
date.
to look. Yeah,
Okay, let me know.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
let us know and we will, like I said, we'll
Hmm.
put a note in the notes afterwards to
I
let
think it was
everybody know. Was
October.
Tammy, well, she was obviously correct about October, but the question is was it the 22nd? You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
um, which is, and that is pretty great evidence there because what that shows is that spirit was around, okay, on October 22nd and is aware of that event. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, so that's great. Wow, great job, Tammy. All right. Well, how do I follow up these great readings? I don't know. I'll give it a shot and let's see what the spirit will do here now. Okay, so the first thing I am picking up, I'm picking up the name Amy, but I am not convinced it's Amy who is in spirit. So um, I'll just ask, does anybody have an Amy in the living that they're aware of? No? Okay. Let me see where this goes. So this is connected to a male, and the male is coming in and he is showing me a small metal box that looks like one of those things where you would keep um, important papers and valuables and things like this, like a lockbox. But it's not one of those new fireproof ones. If you know the kind that I'm talking about that are big like this, okay, it's like an old style metal box where you would keep important papers and see what he wants to talk about with respects to the box. And I feel like once he crossed, his heirs would have gone to this metal box to get what they needed, to sort out the estate. So I'm going to ask, does the metal box make sense to anyone at all? No?
Um,
Oh,
I'm I'm thinking like yes, but not to on my. I don't want to tell you any information, but I'm listening. Just put it
oh,
that way.
you're
I'm
okay. If
listening.
you're
I
listening,
am too,
okay, then
Carol. Yeah, I
you're
am
both
too. Yeah.
listening. Okay, all right, then let me follow it. Okay, so as I lean into the male, I feel like he's actually showing me himself at a fairly advanced age. I would put him into at least 80, okay, as he holds this box. Feel like one of the things that is inside the box is a photograph that what do they call them, like tintypes or something? They, not, like a really, really old photograph. And I'm just, I'm nosy, so I want to know what's in the box. Sorry, folks, but this is why we're going down this road, because I am nosy. So let's see. And it looks like there's a medal in here as well. Okay. Um, that seems to be important to him. Okay. So do either of you understand the contents of the box?
I understand the medal, and there may be a photo in there. I can't remember.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy. Do you understand the contents of the box,
Yeah,
Joanne?
I think you're with Tamara.
Okay. Thanks for listening, Joanne. Tammy, may I work with you?
Oh, please, yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see where this goes. Okay. So I want to go back to this man. Okay. And I am when I look at him, did you know him at this age? I guess is what I need to verify.
At an older age,
At the older age, yes.
I did, yes.
You did. Okay. All right. Because this is what he seems to want to talk about, like right now, is like this old age scenario here. And when I lean into him, I'm picking up this feeling of like resignation is the word that I want to use, like he's given up fighting. Okay. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, just given up the fight. Okay. I feel like I am actually going to ask him to talk about something earlier, because I am, for the benefit of our YouTube audience, I am like Tammy. I generally don't like to obsess over the decline in life, even if people want to hear it. I personally like to focus on happier things. So, Tammy, if I were to ask him to shift back to younger years, would you be able to verify information about his younger years? Okay,
Yes.
let's see. Okay, so when I look at him in his younger years, he's got darker hair, and that is not um, like it's more on the longer side, like where if you were to pull an individual strand, the individual strand might be about that long. Okay, so he can comb it and do things like this. And I feel like he had some extra love around his middle. Okay, so would you understand that about his physical appearance?
The hair, yes, but the around the middle, no.
No? Okay. All right. Why am I feeling the love around the middle? Uh, this may be his shirt. Okay, so I have to talk about his shirt, because his shirt is not um uh, like something that you would buy from like Van Heusen, okay, like a typical male cotton print. Okay, his shirt is so interesting because it's bold stripes is what I want to say. Okay. So would you understand a shirt with bold stripes that go vertically like this?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. All right. This shirt is just like really catching. It's like so bold that it almost looks ethnic to me. That's what's catching my attention.
Maybe you're not with me.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm going to ask you, did you know if this man's feet hurt him?
Not that I'm aware of.
No? Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'll ask Joanne, I'll ask you, is any of that making sense to you?
I'm just trying to think when you were talking, describing who that would be, and he would dress well. Uh, as far as the bold print, I don't know.
Yeah, that shirt is
But
really striking.
it's something he probably would wear. I mean, he would dress well.
Okay. All right.
because of his line of business, and he was in.
Okay. Well, both of you keep on listening. Let me see if I can get this sorted out. Okay. So I want to go back to the box because that was the most important thing in there. Joanne, would you have known the contents of the box?
No, but I can ask.
Okay. All right. See. Would either of you have known this man? I feel like there's military service here with this guy, because I'm actually picking up the smell of gunpowder. Would that make sense to either of you? Military service.
He was in the military,
He was in the military.
but I don't, it wasn't for like a long length of time, but he was in the military.
Okay. All right. What about you, Tammy? Would you understand?
No military service,
No
no.
military service. Okay. Would he have been around the smell of gunpowder that you know?
I could understand that.
Can you understand that's just kind of weird. Okay. The gunpowder coming in here. He is a strange dude. This is for sure. Okay. So would both of you understand this man to be family to you?
Yes.
Family.
Yeah.
Okay, give me something else. All right. Would you both understand him to be a smoker?
Yes.
Yes.
Smoker. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Drinker as well. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to say that actually went beyond beer. It was like harder stuff too that he
Yeah,
would
but
drink.
it wasn't like alcoholic or anything like that.
Yeah, but he would drink, like when he drank, he would drink harder stuff, not beer. Okay.
Yes, and mine drank a lot.
Okay. All right. Would you, now my stomach is getting upset. Okay. Would either of you have known him to have stomach issues at the end? Okay. Like, just, I have a sick feeling in my stomach.
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. Okay. All right. Is there somebody named Randolph around him that either of you would know?
Sounds so familiar.
Randolph. Actually, I just this just popped in. I got a visual of the actor Randolph Scott. So I'm going to say either Randolph or Scott.
Randolph Scott
Yeah.
looking.
Or Randolph or Scott. Okay, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is really a kind of a strange thing here. Well, I want to go back to like this guy and the fact that like he with this resignation, because this emotion is kind of just really kind of getting to me now. Let me see what else I can see about him. How about gambling? Would either of you known him to be a gambler?
No.
No,
Not that I know of.
that you know of. Okay, I want to see why that's coming in. Okay, he's talking about gambling with reference to his life. Gambling with reference to his life. Would that make sense?
I can kind of understand the gambling on something.
Can you? Okay. All right. I'm running out of time here, so I think I'm just going to see if I can get a message here. And Joanne, I thank you for listening, but I do feel drawn to Tammy with this, so I'm going to see. And his energy is very heavy. Okay, very, very heavy. And And through this heaviness, okay, he's referring to you as a smart girl. Okay. He always thought that you were a smart girl.
I can totally take that.
Can you? Okay.
Him saying that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And he's saying that you proved yourself. Okay, you proved yourself that way. So what I'm getting from that is like um, initially, I feel like he thought you may have been sort of fluffy. Okay, but then as he grew to know you, he came to realize that you were the real deal. Okay, and getting a compliment from him is like pulling teeth, but I feel like this is a genuine compliment for you. So I'll leave it there. And thanks for letting me serve spirit. Oh my goodness, he was hard.
Well, you know what's really interesting about this? When you were saying that, and I've wondered about this even more so recently about, that some are better communicators than others.
Yeah.
And I only wonder about it and it could be different situations. I wonder very much if he has reincarnated, and I can tell you a little story why. And I wonder if it's harder to get information, a little bit more harder to get information once they've reincarnated. If they're just not quite as, because if it's true that, we bring a certain percentage of our, and not a super high one,
Energy back.
energy, into this life, and other energy is there. And who knows, we could also be living two lifetimes simultaneously or more, because I believe you had my father. And when I first was training, he was in all the time, and he was a great communicator. He hasn't come in like in 3 years. He's like never around.
Oh my
And
gosh.
and during this reading, somebody did. They showed me she was a newer in development medium. She said, I'm seeing nice shoes. And then she listed a couple of other things, and now baby shoes. Well, my daughter was due to have a baby. The fact that he showed his shoes and these baby shoes, I keep wondering, is he my grandson? Like, has he reincarnated, and is he my grandson?
Oh my
And is
goodness.
that why I'm like, where are you? You were in all the time, almost like too much in the beginning, and he just doesn't come in. And I wonder that a lot. So it made me wonder because I could totally take the metal box because he gave it to me. It's a
Okay.
metal strong box with a
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah.
I think there's a photo in there. I think, and it's one of those old-fashioned kind, little tiny black and white type.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Really
I've
old
got
fashioned.
medals from a sport I did, in
Okay.
there. And he was definitely like a chain smoker, and he drank a lot, functioning, very highly functioning alcoholic. I could see why there'd be some resignation with him. He gambled in some business deals, that didn't go so well, or at least one
Uh,
that I know of.
uh,
The gunpowder, he actually, he had a gun, and for a while, like, carried it actually on his hip.
oh, okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
he always used to tell me how smart I was. You are so smart.
Ah.
Said, you are so
Uh-huh.
smart. And I was just with my sister recently, and I kept thinking about her. I was like, she is so smart. I was like, she's so damn smart. What happened? I was like, God, she remembers all these things. Like, how does she do that? She's so smart. And I was really like, this was literally yesterday. I was
Wow.
thinking, we were together, and I was like, man, she is so smart. And so he's probably coming in saying, you're a smart girl.
Wow.
So, it seemed like a kind of discombobulated, or like like you didn't have much, but when I give you the feedback, it all fits. I mean, it all
Wow.
fits. So
That's so interesting, but that's also an interesting idea that like his energy has diminished on the spirit side because he's been reincarnated. We never talked about this
Okay,
on
that's a no, whole nother subject.
That's a whole other
Yeah.
subject that we've never talked about, but that's really interesting. Okay.
Because he
Because,
was
yeah,
such a good communicator and like he loved coming in and he was so great, like almost working with newer mediums, and I
yeah,
was like learning, or kind of in developing the, mediumship. And he was so great with like others that, he would, and he was very funny when he would come in. It was like he was teaching from there, wherever, because he was totally into all of this when he was alive.
okay.
I mean, my
Oh,
first tarot reading was with his tarot reader.
oh, no kidding. Okay.
Oh,
So
that's
he
so
believed in it
cool.
too.
Oh my gosh, he followed Edgar Casey big time.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's
oh
so
yeah, oh
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Tammy.
So I wonder if this was a lesson for us.
Also, so I want to say something and
Yeah,
mention
go
it before I
ahead.
forget.
Uh-huh.
This is coming full circle because I forgot, how
Yeah.
that just that little thing like you had said about the hug. He said, "You're so smart," and how that resonated. Just that little bit of
Oh,
information,
hey,
and no one would have taken that into consider. I mean, the listeners wouldn't take that into consideration.
Yeah.
that
As
is
a
so
hard piece of
true,
evidence.
Joanne. That
Yeah.
is so true. And they often do things like that in one practice session where they use a little theme.
That's true.
Just like your brother did,
Yeah.
be in the now, be in the
Oh, there you go. We forgot about
all
that. But
three.
yeah,
Yep,
that's the
what did he
theme
say?
for
Be
the
in the here
day.
and the now or whatever. I can't remember what he said now, but all three, it's like they pick something to be consistent about with the three of us,
Wow.
with
Yeah.
whoever's in the group, whoever's practicing that day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's so great because I just wonder, I'm always like, where are you? Like, what happened? Are you like in some faraway dimension that we can't, like you just can't communicate anymore? Or is it, are you my grandson? What was interesting is I was just before we started looking at a cute little video of my grandson that my daughter sent because today's his birthday.
Oh.
So today's my dad, who is now my grandson's birthday.
They were, he was born on your dad's birthday?
No, but today's my
It,
grandson's birthday.
yeah.
And if
Oh, okay.
if my father really did reincarnate and he is my
Okay.
grandson, today's my dad's birthday too.
Okay, so for our YouTube audience, we're going to follow up on that too. Okay, over the years, we're going to see if, Tammy's grandson ends up looking like her father's baby pictures. And we're going to report back
Really funny.
diligently because we're so curious too,
Oh my gosh,
Oh
This
right?
my
is,
goodness.
but I want to bring up one other point too. And Tammy, that is that you said briefly, okay, why hasn't he been around? Okay, and I wanted to address that real quick. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to address it because that speaks to disappointment that sitters have.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're looking for somebody specific to come in, and that person doesn't show up. Okay, so I'm just going to throw it out to everybody to give a real quick assessment on that. Tammy, why do you think that happens? That person, why do you think your father didn't show up?
I well, I wonder because of course we're constantly we're listening to things, learning things, reading things, taking classes, we're always developing all the time because you don't just stop. And so one of the things I was listening to at one point, and I can't remember if it was part of Dolores Cannon but it was about moving up in different dimensions, that you move through different dimensions in order to maybe not come back again, and, are there five, I don't know, what is the song, there are songs, there are more dimensions, but so sometimes I wonder, is it because of whatever they're doing, it's like more dimensions. And so they can't, the access isn't as clear. Yeah, that doesn't sometimes make sense. Or is it that, if we're coming from different stars, or not that necessarily we're all like, Earth is the only show in town, that we've come
Mhm.
from other, is it harder to communicate from one star than it is, from another. Um, because I can tell you, like, and this is a quick kind of, but very interesting and about him, a quick story about that, which is in a class, the very well known tutor brought everybody through a meditation and opened a portal, and she said, we're going to bring a loved one in. And I heard, and I was like new to developing mediumship. I was already a medium. I have been, forever. And I heard my father's voice, and it was his voice. And I heard, Tammy, can you hear me?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God, like where's that coming from? And he said, Tammy, can you hear me? And in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, I can hear you, but I didn't say it out loud. And it was as though he didn't know whether I could hear him because I wasn't saying it out loud, which is so counterintuitive to how we communicate in mediumship because it's telepathic.
Mhm.
And he said, we're doing all we can to help you from here. And I'm like, here? Where would that be? And and he said, keep doing what you're doing. You'll be able to do a lot of good. But it was as though he didn't know whether I could hear him. And so he was just quickly getting the message out. So that made me wonder, well, if in mediumship, because he was also coming through in readings, telepath, and communicating via that way. So I thought, is it a different portal that was opened? Is he like in a different place? Why was it through mediumship he can communicate that way? But in this instance, he said it as though, and I thought, oh, I should have said it out loud. Yes, I can hear you. But of course, I was like, my jaw was like, because and when the tutor came back in, she said, and you might have heard their voice exactly as you remember it. And I said, you think? It was his voice.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, so that those are the things that I think it's so confusing to figure out, like, how could he communicate? How could.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh my God, that goes to another subject altogether. Okay,
Yeah.
so as far as hearing voices, I hear them in their voice
Yeah.
when
Me too.
spirit comes through.
oh,
Mhm.
do
Like it,
you?
yes.
Okay, let me think if I do. Not like this. Like this was,
But I mean, I understand. Like, it's like
you know what I
when you
mean?
hear
Yeah.
your name, you're like, did someone call me? And you can hear them really, like I hear clearly my name
Yeah.
and no one's called me. I understand what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay.
You can hear it as clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
And
had the
it like,
same experience that Tammy had, okay, with, a tutor opening up, the portal, okay, this kind of thing. And I actually saw my father, and, full disclosure, my father died in 1980, okay. But when she and everybody has, when they lose somebody, they have like an image tucked away somewhere that is their memory
Mhm.
of that person, okay? And everybody has that for everybody they've lost and loved, okay? But I will tell you that when that tutor opened up that portal, I saw my father just like I see Joanne and Tammy on
Mm.
this session. I was looking right at him,
Mhm.
okay? And of course I was a hot mess, to be honest. I was bawling, okay,
Mhm.
but it was profoundly life changing for
Mhm.
me because it made me realize that they aren't lost. They are not lost, okay. And ultimately I think that's our goal as mediums, is to try to help you guys, understand that
Mhm.
your people are not lost. And, please bear with us because we don't get it 100% right all the time. But, oh my gosh, we're trying to share, you know, the wonderful experiences that we have, and to prove it to you, that your loved ones are with you too.
Mhm.
yeah, it's true.
So,
Yeah.
well, guys, that was a phenomenal session.
Yeah. And I have an experience too, just like you had. My mother
Did
came
you?
to me the day
Oh,
before she
okay.
passed. I saw her smiling and she was healthy and vibrant and she healed me of I didn't know I was suffering post-traumatic stress disorder. And I felt this unconditional, just this love that I'd never felt before. I always described it, it was like a fraction of what God's love is. I woke my husband up. I said, Mom's here. And then her energy dissipated. And that was my precursor to what was that? How did I
Mhm.
feel that? I've always been intuitive. I've always,
Mhm.
but I had never seen someone and felt them. And this was before she passed.
She came to see you in
She
spirit
visited
before
me.
she passed.
She
Okay.
passed and I always say she gave me a double gift because she always said I was gifted because I was always intuitive and things have happened. But also, she also healed me of, I didn't know I was experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder. And the only thing that stopped my heart from racing was her encompassing me with this unconditional love that soothed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah. So, yes. And I think that is like for us, I know we've all experienced those moments that it's beautiful and it's like we would love to experience it again, but that was definitely our our calling card, I guess, our calling card, right? Like, what was that? That was my whole thing. Like, how did I experience it? How did I see that? How did I feel that? Da, 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 you know?
wow.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah. And that happened 20 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know exactly because she passed um, when my daughter just turned 2. So I can always keep track of
Yeah,
the
the time.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was just a phenomenal, uh, it was just amazing. Like I can do anything like to feel that again, that love that was just so incredible that I just can't explain how beautiful it was.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. We don't have a lot of time left, but just real quick, I want to address that, okay? Because I've had sitters, yeah, people tell me, okay, sometimes that they've had, quote, dreams about their loved
Mhm.
ones, okay? And I ask them, so when you woke up, you know, did it feel like a dream to you or did it feel real?
Mm.
Okay. And inevitably, they all talk about how startled they were because it felt so real.
Yeah.
And and that is when I say to them, it wasn't a dream.
Yes,
Yeah.
You have
it
been
was
Because
blessed.
real.
It
Yes.
was not a dream. Okay. And that's just what Joanne described there, that immense love
Hmm.
that you feel is just so profound that that's how you know that it is not your imagination. It
Hmm.
is real.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
then,
that area, that time of sleep where
Yeah. I
it's
was just
accessible.
about to wake up. Like it was
Yeah,
right
yeah,
before
that's
I
when,
got up.
yes, that's when it happens. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. And I woke
Mhm.
my husband up. Like I saw her. She was healthy and smiling. And then but I felt this. Oh, it was just beautiful. This energy that just, and mind you, I was like, prior to that, was leading up to my mother's death. I couldn't sleep, eat, and my heart just kept on racing. At the time, I didn't know I was suffering post-traumatic stress disorder. That goes to a
What
different
is it?
story.
Post what?
Post-traumatic,
Oh,
uh,
post-traumatic.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
PTSD.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
PTSD.
couldn't, I kept missing that middle word.
Traumatic, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yes,
I was saying it
PTSD.
too fast. PTSD. And only my mother knew.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I feel like that was a blessing on both sides. And also, let's share this, but she passed on my birthday.
Oh,
And I feel like it was a gift to me, but it
Honor.
wasn't. Like it was sort of a mix because my mother's birthday was the following day.
oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I really do feel like my mother was giving me a gift, even though it was hard to lose her. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, by
I've
healing
heard
me. Hmm.
I've heard that they often honor, they honor you by passing on on or near someone's birthday.
And of course, I didn't feel that way at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. My prayer is like, can you just wait one more day? Don't do it on my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well, we're out of time, so we want to, thank our YouTube audience for stopping in. If you've liked what you've seen here today, we're live every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking all things mediumship. But you'll be notified of the upcoming live streams if you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. But in the meantime, I'm going to shut us down with a prayer. If everyone would join me, please. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you've given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thanks again. Hope to see you next Saturday, same time, same channel. Bye-bye now.